Alright guys, we're back with our audible breakdown. Basically this is just where we explain the scheme and in its entirety and how it's going to work. Now, we've already gone over the defense. But, actually, yeah. We've already gone over the defense. 2 deep and 1 be spy is going to be your short yardage run stopper. Basically, I just run it stock, and you could do some adjustments if you want. I just usually run it stock. Crossfire chuck, kind of like a heavy blitz. If you want it to come in, it's coming in here. Say they're blocking people, this one's going to come in, trust me. Trio Sky Zone, A-gap setup from Morelli. Do check out MaddenUniverse.com for that. He has a very nice A-gap setup out of this. I don't know if it still works or not, but last time I ran it, which was like a week ago, it worked. I haven't been able to lab, but this is just something that has worked, and I think it will always work in any Madden because of the way this scheme works. It's not really about glitches. The Trio Sky Zone is, but it's not really a glitch. It's you know, it's an angle, it's a blitz angle, it's a concept, so it will work every year, in my opinion. OLB Fire 2, basically just for immediate sideline coverage. Basically, if they're going to throw outs, they're going to throw curls. You're going to need that because Sting Pinch is going to jump it now and then, but it's not going to be consistent. So it's just kind of random when they're going to jump and when they're not. You need to stop on like 3rd and 4. They're going to go to the out, or like 3rd and 10. They're going to go to the out route. Call this play against Quarles. I would call this play every time. Just kidding, falls. Clamp double go, just a very good coverage setup we can do out of it. We can, like I say, we have our outside backers already blitzing, which is nice because they're the key to the scheme. What you would do basically is I would purple the end that is not in the hook zone, and then I'd purple the MLB that's not in the hook zone on the right side, and then the left side middle linebacker, I would probably put him into the deep zone. Very good coverage setup out of that. So there's really the defense, guys, but most of the time we run Sting Pinch. Now the offense, Bill Walsh designed this West Coast offense out of basically an offense that didn't have a running game, it didn't have an offensive line. And so it's basically built for quick, short passing, to move the ball up the field, ball control. It's not meant to score in bunches, it's meant to score efficiently, and it's meant to have low turnovers. So this is a FAR Twins breakdown here. We got slot corner flats, fullback dive, quick toss, and curls. What I'm going to tell you guys before we get into these setups is you're gonna want to have a team that has one good route running receiver, one good spectacular catch receiver, and a decent like a 3rd string kind of receiver, like a Earl Bennett, or like a Packers have a Greg Jennings, not a Greg Jennings, but a James Jones. Someone like that, or Donald Driver would work. Something like that. You're going to be coming out in bunch, weak PA slot post every play, and you're going to be audibly down into the fire type twins. So do set your depth charts up like that. We're going to give you a quick little glance of how I would do it with the Ravens, just to give you a little sample here. But our suggested team, we do have actually a little bit better team to run this with, and that will be discussed later on. But we might actually run this with the Ravens just because I haven't ran with them yet this year, and they do look very solid. How I would do this with the Ravens, I would put... let's check their route running real quick. Yeah, Anquan Bones, that's 86 route running. You've got a catch and track boy here, Torrey Smith, and you got a speedy, good 3rd string guy in Jacoby Jones. You could put Deshaun Thompson in. He's just not very reliable, in my opinion. That's just how you want to do it, guys. You want to go with reliability, or do you want to go with big playability? You know, your decision there. Tight end, Pitta versus Dixon. I'm going to go with Pitta just because he's a little bit, they're the same height. They're 6'4", 2 6'4" tight ends, very solid. But they both catch very well, but Pitta has a little edge in the catching, route running, and spec catch. Just a little bit better overall of a receiver. Now let's get to the defensive side of things. How I would do this is basically what needs to happen is your best 2 blitzers need to be on the outside linebackers. So Terrell Suggs, of course, and Sergio Kendall for the Ravens. I actually might be running this scheme with the Ravens for the rest of the year. Who knows? We'll see, because they actually do look very good for the scheme. Ray Lewis and who else? McLean. Yeah, we would probably do McLean. Your 2 best zone coverers probably, I would say, need to be in the middle linebacker position. Then at the right end position, I would suggest strong linebackers or very fast defensive ends. So Phil Kruger is perfect, and a Courtney Upshaw, very, very solid. And you could also put in Pernell McPhee. He's just not going to have as good coverage as Kruger and Upshaw will. As far as defensive tackles go, I suggest having your best. You're just a beast. Haloti Ngata, perfect. Justin Smith, perfect. People like that, big, beefy guys that can run. You're probably going to be a very important piece as well. He's going to dictate the run game. Your corners are, I would say, your corners are the most important piece in terms of the coverage aspect of the scheme. So you're going to need 2 good zone covering corners. I rarely run man personally because of the auto motion routes. Jedi, I know you asked a question about that. Yes, auto motion does mess with man coverage. Basically, you can't press with it because motion routes are unbumpable. And sometimes I find myself they just make horrible plays. And I know I exploited it for a long time whenever I use the Bill Walsh playbook. And it's really very difficult to stop, and you do have to kind of sell out. But what I would suggest you doing, man, is I would suggest probably just a zone. Just throw up like a cover 2 sink or something, and you're going to be very successful. It's all about, zone. I would suggest zoning that side and not even trying to run man on them. But you can just experiment with that. As far as safety goes, I would say you need safeties that are hitters or playmakers. This is where your playmakers, they're going to make plays on everything, guys. They're basically covering outs and hook routes and basically all the underneath stuff. And they're going to be in the play every time in terms of run D. So you need good hitters and good catching traffic, spec catch kind of people. Pollard and Ed Reed are perfect in terms of that. So that is the depth chart setup, what you want to be looking for in terms of that. Now let's actually go back to quarterbacks. We need to talk a little bit about quarterbacks. Personally, I feel you can run this offense with a Matt Castle. Shout out to Chief. You can run this offense with anybody you want. It just depends on how much you want to emphasize the play action slot post. Personally, I emphasize the play action slot post a little bit more so than I think I should. Especially if you have a bad quarterback, I wouldn't emphasize that play as much. But if you have a quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, I'd probably stay in that play most of the game. Reason behind this, guys, if they don't have good throw power, you can't deep post, and if they don't have good deep action, you can't hit the deep post. You can't hit some of the routes you need to be able to hit to keep the play effective. But if they do have good, I would say deep action above 85, throw power above 90, they can hit it. So what you would want, I would personally look for is a deep throw action above 85, throw power above 90. That's going to be Aaron Rodgers for the most part, guys. You're not going to find a whole lot of people better. In our suggested team, though, we don't use Aaron Rodgers in the pack because they don't have the running back we like. You could do Gibbs' method and audible down from a 5 wide. In my opinion, I don't like that because I don't like running from 5 wide, especially out of the West Coast. I need that extra audible slot for the PA slot post because PA slot post is not a quick audible, so it is kind of difficult in terms of that. But what I would suggest doing with the Packers, I would just personally suggest using Alex Green. Alex Green is very solid. In my opinion, he's one of the most smooth running backs. I call him smooth running backs. Just the way they run is so smooth. You feel it. It's just not a hard run like a Cedric Benson versus Alex Green. You're going to figure out that Alex Green runs a lot better, like in the way it feels to the way you're seeing it on the screen. He's going to run a lot smoother than Benson will. So that's my 2 cents on it. Also, as far as quarterbacks, if you run with a Matt Castle, I would suggest running a lot of far tight. I'd suggest audibling down into a lot of far tight. What we're actually going to do is we're going to show you 2 full games. We're going to show you one with our suggested team, and then we're going to show you one with the Cleveland Browns. And we're going to show you how we can make the worst team in the game effective. Actually, we'll show you the Kansas City Chiefs just for Chief. We'll show you Kansas City Chiefs because I think they have the worst record in the NFL right now. Either them or the Browns, but we'll show one of the 2. And we'll show you how you can do it with a bad team and how the scheme works effectively. Still with a bad team, still with a bad quarterback, to show you that you can run this with any team. So this is just the overview, guys. Appreciate you watching. Let's get into these plays.